Welcome to the Double E Cup Series Season 6 premiere. The first race of the 10-race season is about to get underway here at the new Double E Speedway. And we got 28 drivers that are ready to get this season off and rolling. Season 5 ended more than 6 months ago. So after a little hiatus, last year's champ Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to look to defend his title against 27 other hungry drivers. So the field will begin to roll. Let's look at our starting lineup. On the pole is Jamie McMurray with Tony Stewart. Then we have Eric Almirola in the 43 and Joey Logano in the 22, along with Jeff Gordon and Kurt Busch in row 3. In row 4, we have Hendrick teammates Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson. Then we have Gibbs teammates Matt Kenseth and Carl Edwards. And then we have Denny Hamlin and Austin Dillon, along with AJ Allmendinger making his Dex premiere, and Clint Boyer. Then we have Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane, along with Paul Menard and Danica Patrick. Then we have Casey Mears and the rookie Chase Elliott, along with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Larson. Then we have Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch, along with Ryan Newman and Trevor Bayne. And rounding out the field is David Reagan and Greg Biffle. Now let's get this 10-lap race started. Green flag is in the air for the W Cup Series Season 6. And already Tony Stewart gives Jamie McMurray a little nudge, but he's not going to be able to get that spot. McMurray holds him off for the lead, some 3 wide already. Stewart's going to move into second spot. Here comes Joey Logano, though, looking for that position as McMurray leads the first lap of the season. Logano now will take second. Stewart is third. Jeff Gordon looking for it now. Gordon is in fourth. He's going to dive to the inside heading into 3 and is going to make that pass. As up front, McMurray gets loose, grazes the wall. Logano to the lead, and we got a crash in turn 4. It's Carl Edwards, Denny Hamlin, Casey Kane, and Paul Menard all are in the outside wall on lap 3. As Carl Edwards making his W Cup Series premiere, it looked like AJ Allmendinger got loose, got into Hamlin, who got into Edwards, and that's the risk you take when you're running 3 wide, especially early on in the race like this. Allmendinger might have a tiny bit of damage, but I think he's going to stay on the racetrack. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but not the debut Edwards wanted for Joe Gibbs Racing in the W Cup Series. Everyone else will restart on lap 5. Joey Logano just took the lead, but McMurray gets a good restart. Jeff Gordon really pushing the issue here. He's going to try and take second away. He restarted third, but he's going to get loose. And now we got 3 wide for second place. Eric Almirola and Dale Jr. come out of nowhere. Tony Stewart stuck there on the outside, but they're going to get through 4 just fine. Jeff Gordon powers through the middle to third, or fourth, as Joey Logano continues to lead. Now Eric Almirola gets loose off 2. He collects Tony Stewart, and it looked like Kurt Busch got a little bit of damage as well, as now 2 cars are now wrecked on the infield on lap number 6. As they just got through some intense 3-wide racing. I don't know what happened to Almirola there. He just got really sideways, slammed into that outside wall, and came right back across the 14. And the 41 looked like Busch got a little bit of damage. He got clipped ever so slightly by his teammate. He's going to be on pit road for just a little bit of repairs. Not too bad. He'll be able to continue, but he'll be in the back. So a tough break for all 3 of those guys. As we will restart with 3 laps to go. Logano still leading. Jeff Gordon does not get a good restart. Dale Jr. tries to take advantage. He makes contact with Logano. They head through 2. Jr. to the lead. McMurray and Logano fall back a little bit. Jeff Gordon trying to take the second spot. Jeff Gordon going to dive it in now on Logano, and he'll be able to clear him for the second position as we have 2 laps to go. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has come out of nowhere to take the lead late in this one. Jeff Gordon and Joey Logano, though, trying to regroup and catch him. And now Matt Kenseth gets a little nudge there from Jimmy Johnson. He gets knocked out of the 6th position back to about 9th. As we're going to be coming around for the white flag, Jeff Gordon has closed up on Dale Jr. 1 lap to go. Jr. with the block. Gordon looking to the inside, gives him a nudge. Logano is there. Here comes Jamie McMurray. They head on the backstretch. Gordon and Jr. Gordon's got the advantage. They head into 3 and 4. Everyone's sliding around. Contact again. Jr.'s in the wall. Jeff Gordon's going to hold on and win race 1 of the W Cup Series Season 6. As an intense battle on the final lap between him and his teammate Dale Jr., along with Joey Logano and Jamie McMurray, it's Jeff Gordon that's going to pull out the victory in his last season of W Cup Series racing. He wins at the W Speedway. So Jeff Gordon, his last win, his first win since season 4, but it was a big one, and it got this season off rolling good for him. Here are your top 5.
Hello and welcome to the Skyline Super Speedway for the Season 12 Race 2 Skyline 200. We are in for a show today, folks. The Athletic Cup officials have brought back a racing style that is over a decade old. Tandem racing comes back today, where 2 cars can go together and outrun the pack. Check out our drivers to watch for Bubba Wallace. He has high hopes for the 2311 camp today, starting second but he's going to need some help. Hopefully he can find it. Brad Keselowski is trying to revive Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing by becoming part owner with Jack Roush, looking to put RFK back on the map. Ross Chastain has received a warning from the Aflac Cup Series officials for his driving during the Aflac 200 a couple weeks ago. And the guy that he's running into, Denny Hamlin, is looking to put the Aflac 200 behind him, where he and Ross Chastain had contact multiple times and ended up having Denny Hamlin be put into the wall right there by Chastain, and then Hamlin gets spun out by Chase Elliott here trying to get the pit lane and causes a massive wreck between Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, and himself. And then the Hendrick drivers, they did not qualify well, but maybe for a reason. They set their cars up for the race rather than raw speed. Look for the Hendrick drivers to work together today, tandem style, 2x2 to get to the front. Kyle Larson plans to work with William Byron, and Chase Elliott plans to work with Alex Bowman. So we'll see if the Hendrick drivers can get to the front today. Thank you to our partners, Altitude Graphics, for making these amazing graphics for the series, and Spoiler Diecast, where I get all my diecasts now, and I use code ACS12 at checkout. Now, let's take us trackside for the command. Drivers, start your engines! The cars fire up and begin to roll off. We're going to check out our starting lineup for the Skyline 200. On the pole today is Chris Buescher to his outside, Bubba Wallace. Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch in row 2. Ricky Spinhouse Jr. next to Kevin Happy Harvick. In row 4, it's Christopher Bell and his teammate Denny Hamlin. Austin Dillon and Martin Truex Jr. sit in row 5. And in row 6, it's Todd Gilliland next to Ryan Blaney. Kurt Busch next to Joey Logano in row 7. In row 8, we find Ross Chastain and Harrison Burton. Eric Jones and Daniel Suarez find themselves in row 9, and then there's Eric Almirola next to Ryan Preece in row 10. Row 11 is Tyler Reddick and last week's winner, Chase Briscoe. Kyle Larson and William Byron fill out row 12, while Chase Elliott and Austin Cindric sit in row 13. Alex Bowman and Cole Custer in row 14. And in row 15 is Ty Dillon and Corey LaJoie. Looking at our race facts, 10 laps today, that's a total of 15 miles. It's a hot one today in Texas. It's 88 degrees out, and the track temp is a scorching 112 degrees. Last time we were here, Ryan Blaney won. Now let's see who's going to win this time. Green flag is in the air for 10 laps around the Skyline Superspeedway. This mile-and-a-half D-shaped oval races like a plate track. As you see the cars tandeming up already here. You see Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell working together. There's Chris Buescher and Keselowski way out front. And they are all starting to try and team up here as they tandem around the racetrack. Race leaders from Roush Fenway Keselowski, Christopher Buescher and Brad Keselowski. Looks like they kind of get separated going into 3. They're going to lose the draft, and the Joe Gibbs drivers, can't even tell who that is, Kyle Busch, because they're all racing the same paint scheme. That is Kyle Busch in the front, and he's going to get a push from Christopher Bell. And then Truex in the other DeWalt scheme is going to get a heck of a run to the race lead. Martin Truex Jr. is out front, but now here comes Ricky Stenhouse and Kevin Harvick. Didn't really see those two working out together, but here they are. Now Ryan Blaney getting a push from Todd Gilliland. To the race lead goes Ryan Blaney heading down the backstretch. Look at that. Front row Motorsports Ford push Ryan Blaney to the race lead. How about that for Todd Gilliland? Oh, we got a crash coming off of turn 4. It's going to be a big pile up here as they wad up across the start-finish line. Looks like Daniel Suarez got into the outside wall, and it collected Chase Elliott. Christopher Bell went from all the way up front with Kyle Busch to getting caught in this wreck, and we are under red flag conditions here for this wreck. Look at Ryan Preece pushing Suarez, and they got way too close to Chase Elliott. And, Elliott kind of got pinched into the wall there. Nothing Chase could really do. Definitely Suarez got turned around. Elliott's drafting partner, Bowman, goes to the inside. Bubba Wallace gets involved. Logano's involved. Ty Dillon. Christopher Bell. Ryan Preece almost gets hooked there. And Corey LaJoy just snakes through. Wow, what a wreck avoidance by Corey LaJoy and Eric Almirola. So Chase Elliott was involved in this one big time. Eric Jones got caught up in it. Both RPM drivers did, actually. Bubba Wallace, he's going to be able to continue on. Bowman's getting the hook to the garage area. There's Christopher Bell going back. Unfortunate end to his day. Ty Dillon off to a very frustrating start of the year. 2 wrecks to start the year. Daniel Suarez, not what he wanted to see today. And there's Austin Cindric. Joey Logano, my bad, getting the hook. And there's 3 drivers that are going to be able to continue. It's Jones, Wallace, and Elliott. And the red flag has been lifted, and we're going to get ready to go back racing here with 3 laps to go. Ryan Blaney is out front. His racing partner, Todd Gilliland, to his outside. Could those 2 hook back up here? We're going to see. Looks like Todd Gilliland's having nothing of it. Kozlowski's going to give him a good push as they roar across the start-finish line. Down the backstretch they go. Gilliland to the race lead, and the RFK drivers have hooked back up. Coming to 2 laps to go. Oh, they kind of get split up by the Joe Gibbs Racing drivers of Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch trying to find their way around Kozlowski. Kozlowski's going to try and block, but they get the run on him. White flag is in the air. Here comes Kyle Busch and Truex, but Stenhouse gets the run on the inside with push from Larson. Stenhouse into 3 and 4. Oh, he gets into him. They go up into the wall, and Larson snakes by and gets the win, and they cross the line and crash. Harrison Burton hard into the outside wall, but Kyle Larson gets the win in the Skyline 200 as Burton, Kyle Busch, and Chastain wreck as we cross the finish line. Look at this push. Stenhouse gets from Larson, and then he makes contact with Kyle Busch. Gets up into Kyle Busch. Larson's going to get a push from his teammate William Byron to the win. Right here, they make contact. Yeah. Nothing really Larson did wrong. Stenhouse just kind of got in too hot. They're all pushing for the win. Just stuff that happens on super speedways. I think we all know that and can understand what happened there. One last look as Stenhouse almost got the win today, but Larson gets it done and wins the Skyline 200. Aflac Cup Series to Kyle Larson. Big win today. Your point standings, Briscoe was
I mentioned 36 cars on the grid. Well, only a third of them is locked into the playoffs already. 12 drivers locked in with wins, leaving only 4 spots left for other drivers to lock themselves in. A tight bubble battle is coming up here, very close on points between drivers, flirting with that 16th and final playoff spot with only 6 races left, including today. Chase Briscoe put his 14 Stewart-Haas racing machine on the pole yesterday in qualifying. Kyle Larson, a very close qualifying time with the 14, but now let's take a look at our drivers to watch for today here in Pocono. Chase Briscoe starting on pole. He's had a fast car all weekend long. No wins yet this season, but could today be the day in Pocono for Next up, Chase Elliott, starting 11th today. He was too loose in both practice and qualifying. Good finishes at Pocono in the past, multiple wins so far for the 9 team this season. Now let's send it down to pit road for the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engine! And now the pace car is going. The cars are fired up and rolling at the tricky triangle. Let's get to your starting lineup.
Row 1, Chase Briscoe earned the pole yesterday in qualifying. Next to him is Kyle Larson on the inside. Row 2, Martin Truex Jr., Austin Cindric. Row 3 is Ryan Blaney and Daniel Suarez.
Row number 4 is going to be the 11 of Denny Hamlin and the 43 of Eric Jones. Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick are going to be row 5, and Chase Elliott and Tyler Reddick are going to round out row number 6.
Bubba Wallace and Brad Keselowski start next to each other in row number 7. Old teammates Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell make up row 8. Row 9 is Alex Bowman next to Chris Buescher.
Row number 10 is going to be William Byron and Ross Chastain. Row number 11 is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47 and Eric Almirola in the 10. And Harrison Burton and Noah Gragson are going to be in row 12.
Row 13, Ty Gibbs, Justin Haley. Ty Gibbs, a rookie this season. Row 14 is Ty Dillon and Ryan Preece. And row 15 is Todd Gilliland and AJ Allmendinger.
In row number 16, it's going to be the 7 and the 3, 2 Chevys of Corey LaJoie and Austin Dillon. Michael McDowell and BJ McLeod are going to round out row 17, and rounding out the whole field is JJ Yaley and Zane Smith, the 2 Rick Ware entries.
Down the front straightaway, you hear the fans cheering at their favorite drivers coming down the front straightaway pacing. Now let's take a look at our track description here at Pocono. 3 unique turns at the tricky triangle. Turn 1, 14 degrees of banking. Turn number 2 has about half of that with 8 degrees. And turn 3, very flat, got 6 degrees.
We've got 3 different lengths of straightaways as well. The front straightaway being over 3,700 feet, the Long Pond straightaway being just under that at just over 3,000, and then the North Straight, 1,700 feet. Some long straightaways here at the Tricky Triangle.
Take a look at our race analysis for today's race. We're going to go 26 laps. Our stages are going to be 6, 6, and 14. That final stage is over double our first 2 stages combined.
Fuel window today is going to be 13 to 15 laps, so drivers are going to be encouraged to pit today. When will strategy take its place?
Full sun on the track today, 79 degrees, hot track temp means a slick racetrack.
We have a very minimal chance of rain today, only 13%, so we're expected to go green until the end.
Field rounds out turn 3, comes down pit road to check their pit speed, make sure all the dots on the dash are aligned so they don't make any mistakes, any costly mistakes. While pitting here today in Pocono, if you get put far back in traffic at the back of the field, it's going to be very hard to work your way back up through the field. It's very hard to pass here in Pocono.
Very easy to throw away the race on a bad pit stop, so we got to keep our eye out for that today. Not all NASCAR races get a pit stop, so it's going to be very crucial for these teams that may not have worked in a little bit to have their guns marked today.
Take a look at some late-breaking news in today's race. The 78 of BJ McLeod crashed his car in practice, backed into the wall in turn 3. He's going to a backup car. He's going to have to come from the back, starting 3rd to last.
Then JJ Yaley failed inspection multiple times. Not unlike a Rick Ware racing car to be starting in the rear, but hey, you got to find his way back there somehow.
51 of Zane Smith also failed inspection, so both of the Rick Ware cars will round out the field in the final row.
Rick Ware's been trying some interesting things with their setups last couple weeks. This week seems to have crossed the line.
Yes, it has. The field comes off turn 4 behind the pace car, which turns left, hard left on the pit road. The field in the hands of Chase Briscoe. Kyle Larson into the Geico restart zone. We are green in Pocono.
Green flag is out. The cars fly down the front stretch. The draft is very important on the front straightaway of Pocono as Chase Briscoe gets a huge lead out front and Truex dives below Cindric.
3 wide behind them. Daniel Suarez got by Kyle Larson on the outside, side by side for second. But it's all clean air for Briscoe out front in the 14 machine down the Long Pond straightaway.
That high line can get some huge draft trains going as you see Cindric able to clear the 19. And Suarez up into the wall. Truex got up too high. The tunnel turn has claimed 2 cars this race. Big damage on the 19.
Crushing blows to those two cars that prepared all week for this race to get taken out, not even half a lap into the race. Daniel Suarez takes it to the garage. His day is done. Too much damage for that 99 machine.
Let's take a look at this replay. Going through the tunnel turn, Truex washes up to it with a car to his outside. Even in the next gen car, you cannot go too wide through the tunnel turn unless you have a perfect line.
No. And it looks like Truex is a little bit out of the bottom groove, too. So he looks like he made contact. 99 obviously pounded the wall. Denny Hamlin just barely got by on the inside.
Man, and look at that next gen. For a next gen car to crumple up the way that 19 did, that was a ferocious hit. And man, Denny Hamlin just missed that wreck.
I don't know how he did not hit that inside wall, as you're going to see another look at it.
Yeah, just the wash
Right
up the track.
there. Oh, my gosh.
Man. That
Just-
is some incredible driving from the 11.
Yes, it is. And he actually gained a spot doing that as well.
Yeah, and there's Truex on the hauler again. Car totaled, chassis destroyed.
Here we come into the choose cone. Chase Briscoe first to hit it. He goes outside. Cindric down low. So two Fords are going to start on the front row. Two Penske teammates, three Fords lined up on the inside line back behind Denny Hamlin.
Choose cone could be pretty important today to make sure you're in the lane going into turn one that's going to get you the best corner through. Oftentimes it's the outside lane at Pocono, interestingly enough.
Green flag back in the air. Chase Briscoe's on the gas. Not much help from Kyle Larson. Logano dives three wide to the inside with help from Blaney. Four Fords lined up on the bottom.
Look at how they fan out going into turn one as Larson jumps ahead on the inside to take the lead away from Chase Briscoe. Able to get by him into the corner. The switchback from Chase Briscoe is under effect.
Side by side, now Logano gives Kyle Larson a bump. Blaney right behind him, and we've got Ty Gibbs in the wall in turn one.
Very interesting. Off the restart, you almost wonder if somebody would have gotten into him with everyone stacking up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's a weird place for that to happen. Let's take a look at the replay and see what exactly did happen. Already in the wall when we saw it. So I'm not sure if he cut a tire down.
The way the smoke's blowing out of the exhaust, is that an engine failure on the 54?
It might be. Maybe that fluid got put down, maybe caused him to hit the wall. I don't know. But he's out of the race early as well.
What a strange incident for that 54 Joe Gibbs entry as we hit the choose cone again. Kyle Larson, Joey Logano will make up the front row. Blaney goes up to the second row. And look at all those drivers trying to get on the outside.
Yeah, the outside line we saw 2 times now. Got the better jump on the restart. So very smart for Joey Logano. And he's got a Penske teammate behind him.
Cindric is starting on the bottom as green flag is back out. We'll have to see how wide they fan out this time going into turn one.
3 wide, Tyler Reddick on the outside. The first 2 Penske teammates got clear. Now Reddick's looking for second on the outside. At final lap of the stage.
What a move by Reddick on the outside of Blaney, able to overtake him and now clear him by half a car length. But now they'll get the long draft down the back straightaway.
Top 4 look to be separated in a single file line from the rest of the field. Joey Logano is out front by about half a car length. What can Tyler Reddick do to that lead in turn 3? Does not look like much.
Dive it in deep, but he's not going to get there. Joey Logano's out of 3.
Joey Logano into the Geico restart zone, back to the stripe. He's going to win stage 1 today in Pocono.
Good racing by the 22 early on to pick up that stage win. These points so valuable as the playoff draws ever closer.
Back into the choose cone once again. Joey Logano goes to the inside this time. Ryan Blaney, his teammate, goes with him. Tyler Reddick starts on the outside. We saw him using that outside line to take second. 1 restart to go. What can he do? Can he get the lead now this time?
It'll be very interesting to see how the 22 does on the inside. He does have a teammate pushing him, but he's going to lose that massive draft advantage from the outside lane.
Blaney's a good pusher as well as we get back to green. Across the stripe, Logano getting shoved by Blaney. Not much help on the outside line this time.
What a restart from the 22 and the 12. Great use of the push there as we're fanning out 3 wide once again heading into turn 1.
3 by 3 behind him. Here comes Reddick on the outside. He's going to try to take the lead. Now Eric Jones goes to third for Ryan Blaney.
And that's exactly what the 22 is fearing by picking the inside, I'm sure. That strong run on the outside by the 45 into the tunnel turn. He will be clear as the leader, and he is getting away.
Kevin Harvick up the racetrack, 3 wide off the tunnel. Is this going to end badly? No. Still 3 wide, though, entering turn 3. Cindric on the outside.
Chastain has some serious cojones to pull off a move like that, but he seemed to make it work for him. So we come back to the line to take the second lap of stage number 2. Here comes Logano.
Logano to the inside, takes the lead, makes it look easy down the front straightaway.
That draft in Pocono is no joke. He was able to get by him before the 45 could side draft him, and on the outside, it's Ryan Blaney going around for third.
Big move by Blaney. That's a couple times now I can see that outside line in turn 1 working, so that's going to be kept in the back of the drivers' minds as they go through turn 1. Now Blaney draws to the inside of Reddick off 2. Can he complete the path going into 3? I don't believe he can. Reddick's going to have the outside line here. Oh, he does. No. Reddick back on the outside. Eric Jones closing in. Here they come off turn 3. 3 wide for second.
3 wide for second down the front straightaway here. Looks like Reddick missed his apex and allowed all of this to happen. Now the 43 trying to break free of the side draft. Can he do it going out into turn 1?
This is the point in the straightaway where the runs stall out mostly. If you're back here, you're not going to get much more of a run. Eric Jones, 3 wide into turn 1. He's going to get both of them, but here comes Reddick back on the outside.
That outside lane in turn 1 is just too dominant for the 43. But now he's got the 12 and a side draft, so he's at least going to stick to the 4th position for now.
Fly by the top 4. Jones still underneath Ryan Blaney as you see those top 4 pulling away just ever so slightly over the rest of the pack here in turn 2.
This pack getting very spread out as we continue to stay green here. Eric Jones still side by side with the 12 car for that 3rd spot.
Logano's pulling away. Those 3 were battling last time by. That allowed that 22 car to pull away. Jones is going to slide in line behind the 12 of Blaney as we got green flag pit stop, so let's send it down to pit road.
Kyle Busch coming down to pit road here for green flag pit stops. His car's a little bit tight, needs a wedge adjust to make that car looser. He's also going to be very close on fuel here. 4 tires and fuel for him. Overtime is going to be really risky for him, but he needs a caution to get to the end.
The number 11 of Denny Hamlin comes in and make his green flag pit stop. He's going to take 4 tires of fuel. He's reporting to the team he needs to be looser all around, and he's hoping to get a few cautions to help him save fuel.
Alex Bowman came onto pit road 15th, 2 tires and fuel for the 48, and they're hoping for a quick caution to keep his shack position. A risky move from Blake Harris. We'll see if it works.
You saw the battle for second on the left-hand side between Ryan Blaney and Eric Jones. Blaney takes the spot. As we've got 2 laps to go on the stage, Jones looks to the inside of Blaney, and here's the battle for what will be the lead after the stage caution. Kyle Busch and Chris Buescher going into turn 3.
And the 17 trying to poke his nose under the 8 car as Logano's in the fence.
Joey Logano from the lead crashes in turn 1. What happened to the 22? Tyler Reddick on pit road. So the top 2 get together entering turn 1 with 2 to go in the stage.
Oh, look at the damage on the 22. He really slap that wall hard. He's going to pull it into the garage. Day is done for the stage winner of stage number 1.
Eric Jones brings the field back to the caution. He will win stage number 2. Let's take a look at what happened with Joey Logano. Oh, wow.
It looks like an incident of maybe side drafting gone wrong. Did the 45 come down into Logano, or did Logano go too high trying to square up the entry for turn 1?
Maybe. I don't know if Logano didn't know the 45 was there. When we last saw, Reddick was quite a bit back, so I think he got a huge run. Logano tried to block it, but it was too late. That hole was already filled.
What it looks like to me is that Logano came up, maybe not knowing that he wasn't clear, and then once he hit Tyler Reddick, Reddick bounces off the wall, loses control of his car, and Logano goes into the fence.
Hard hit on that right side going into turn number 1.
Yep, driver's side incident in turn 1 at Pocono, always scary.
Yep. Field comes down pit road now. Eric Jones leads the field to pit road.
William Byron saying he's not having all that tire fall off, but he is plowing tight in turns 1 and 3. He's going to have to loosen the car up a little bit. He's going to take 4 tires and fuel as well.
As the 43 of Eric Jones comes in to make his pit stop, he's going to take 4 tires of fuel here, but he's reporting to the team that he is very loose coming off of turn number 2. They're going to tighten up the 43 machine to hopefully help him for the rest of the race.
And now here comes the 14-inch Chase Briscoe sliding that number 1 pit stall. And one of the faster cars on the track, but after starting on the pole, he's fallen back to 7th. 4 tires and a full tank of fuel for him, along with a quick wedge adjustment to tighten him up in turns 1 and 2.
Briscoe out of his stall. He stalled the car a little bit. Now it's stopped again on the exit of pit road. Pole sitter is stopped on the exit of pit road with issues.
What a disaster for the 14 of Chase Briscoe. These Stewart-Haas entries can just not catch a break.
As we see our stage 2 results, Eric Jones got by the 2 that crashed in turn 1. He takes the win of the stage, gets 1 playoff point and 10 regular season points that'll take him to the playoffs if he gets a win. Back into the choose cone, Kyle Busch took the lead from Buescher. We saw that with the green flag pit stops. He goes inside. Denny Hamlin on the inside as well.
Yeah, we've got some very odd entries up near the front because of all this strategy, like the 42 starting in the outside of row 3.
Michael McDowell is also there. He's going to be restarting in 8th on the outside line, pushing Noah Gragson.
We'll have to see if these cars were just mired by dirty air, if they really are the class of the field. As the green flag is out for stage 3, the inside line gets a jump this time.
Big jump by the inside. Kyle Busch gets a big shove by Hamlin. Now Buescher goes up to 2nd, entering turn 1. Kyle Busch uses the outside line, but here comes Chastain outside of Chris Buescher.
Man, and Buescher fell off immediately into the turn, as now Chastain is chasing down the 8 car, and Hamlin's also going to file into the 3rd position.
Freight train is at 17 of Chris Buescher is what he's getting right now. 3 wide exiting the tunnel. Contact made into the fence. Look at this down the back straightaway. A log jam entering turn 3.
Noah Gragson hits the fence, stacks up the entire field. That 42 is going to be forced in the high line, and we've got McDowell sliding up the track. He might have saved it.
He did save it. He's going to have to try to get down to pit road. Big damage to the right side of that car. 3 wide again down the front straightaway.
We see a lot of cars trying to get into that draft lane to the outside. The 17 hung out to dry as the top 3 continue to pull away.
Chastain's got to run. He looks outside, looks inside, side by side off turn 1 for the lead.
What a swap over by Chastain as Kyle Busch into the wall a little bit. It looks like Chastain didn't give him enough room. Now Hamlin's going to go under the 1 car.
Kyle Busch used that move, took him down to the apron, took the lead back. Now Denny Hamlin goes to 2nd. Jones is inside of Chastain for 3rd.
Jones and Chastain are going to stall each other out a little bit, allow Hamlin to get away slightly as Kyle Busch continues pulling ahead for his lead.
Kyle Busch off turn 3. Denny Hamlin about 2 car lengths back, still side by side. Now Blaney dives to the inside, makes it 3 wide at the start-finish line.
Move by Blaney, just barely clear down to his inside, but now he has no drafting help down the front straightaway, and he's going to fall back.
Top 5, top 6, nose to tail. Here comes Hamlin for the lead in turn 1 on Kyle Busch. Sideways is the 11.
Hamlin looks like he got tapped by the 8 car as he went around the outside. Now Hamlin's going to be in the outside going into the treacherous turn 2 tunnel.
Side by side, what will Chastain do to these 2? Hamlin tries to get the advantage. He has it. Now Chastain up to 2nd, trying to get it on Kyle Busch into turn 3.
Denny Hamlin's going to hold on to the lead. Chastain trying to make the outside work in turn 3, but Kyle Busch shuts the door. The 12 of Blaney tries to make a charge, but he's going to be stuck on that inside line, just slowing down Jones until Jones gets the drafting help he needs.
Single file, Kyle Busch pulls out on Denny Hamlin for the lead entering turn 1. Does he get it? Hamlin's going to have the outside line, powers ahead a little bit. Side by side, 9 laps to go off turn 1.
Using that sticky stuff in the outside line that was left over from last year, Hamlin gets ahead. Now Jones is going to make a power move on the outside of Blaney as here comes Kyle Busch into the tunnel turn.
Side by side once again through turn 2. Busch and Hamlin leaning on each other down the north straightaway.
These 2 former teammates are racing very hard right now, pulling out 2 wide in places you couldn't go 2 wide just a few years ago. Now Hamlin back on the inside of Kyle Busch, and he'll get a great launch down the front straightaway.
And these 2 know how each other race. They were teammates at Joe Gibbs for a long time. They know how each other races. They know what moves they're going to make. Kyle Busch now looks to the inside, but I think he's too far back to get a run on the 11.
And look at how far these 2, even racing side by side at points, they have stretched their lead over Ross Chastain to a degree unseen in quite a while. Now Kyle Busch to the inside as we're coming up on lap traffic.
34, Michael McDowell. You saw him hit the fence off turn 2 on the first lap of the stage. Came down pit road. Slower than the rest of the field now as he goes to first car lap down.
Kyle Busch continues the lead. He might have used that lap car better than Hamlin did. He's got more of a run. And now we've got the battle for mid-pack. It looks like Austin Cindric is being passed underneath by Bubba Wallace. Alex Bowman just ahead of them. And that 2 car of Austin Cindric's going to hold it wide open on the outside, exiting the corner.
Kyle Busch, 2-car length lead over Denny Hamlin. We're down to just 7 laps to go at Pocono. Flying by is this race already. Denny Hamlin trying to get a run, trying to get anything he can off turn number 1.
Dirty Air is going to make this pass difficult, but you've seen these 2 cars. They've been able to make moves on each other using the outside lane of turns that would surprise you.
No, now Denny Hamlin through the tunnel turn. The gap still stays the same because he gets a little bit of a run into turn 3. He's trying to. He's going to try to run different lanes than that 8 car. Look at him. He's peaking a little bit lower, trying to get any ounce of clean air that he can to the nose of that 11 car.
Yeah, this dirty air plays such a big factor at Pocono Raceway, but down this front straightaway, can Hamlin get just enough of a draft to try and move into turn 1?
He's closed in a lot down the front straightaway. Does he look to the outside? Kyle Busch is going to try to take his line away going into 1. Hamlin on the outside. Here he comes for the lead.
Busch mispredicted the block. Now Hamlin has the space he needs, has the clean air, and the 11's
hard in
cleared.
the wall is the 1.
Chastain.
Chastain slams the wall in turn 1.
Such a hard hit to the 1 car. The driver who's been running third for so much of this third stage, now hard into the safer barrier in turn 1.
Huge damage to the right rear and the right front. The whole right side has huge damage to it. That was a hard hit in turn 1.
Turn 1 continues to show us that people can hit very hard at Pocono. This looks like it may have been brake failure. So similar to, who was it? Is it Bubba Wallace who had this same type of wreck a couple years ago? Looks almost
there
like
was a brake
identical.
rotor.
Brake rotor. Oh, bad contact for Chastain.
And that's a long slide to a hard hit into the wall.
And already committed into the corner. There's nothing else you can do in that situation. Such a helpless feeling inside the car.
Let's take a look at it from another angle. You see that brakes are already gone. Smoke's already coming out of the right rear. Sliding through the grass, hops through the grass, and slams the wall. Gonna take one more look at it full speed to show you the impact. There's the hop in the grass, a long slide to a hard hit into the fence. Chastain being towed back to the garages here at Pocono after a hard hit. Field's under red flag. While we get this mess cleaned up in turn 1, we'll be right back after this break.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ooh.
Welcome back to Pocono. The field's still under red flag on the north straightaway for Chastain's big crash in turn 1. The race goes back to caution. The field starts to roll once again. Denny Hamlin is your leader. As the field comes back to the choose cone, Denny Hamlin leads the field there. He goes to the inside. Kyle Busch outside. 2 Chevys on the outside going to push each other, hopefully, to the lead.
Looks like all the Penske drivers are starting to line up on the outside lane, too.
Going to be 3-lap shootout to settle the winner here at Pocono. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch on the front row, back to racing.
Hamlin gets a good launch,
Turned
and we've
around
got
as Eric Jones. Eric Jones got turned by the 20 of Bell. I think he got tagged by William Byron. Ryan Blaney also got caught up in it, and they're all on pit road.
12, 20, and 43 all caught up in this restart fiasco. It looks like the 20 stopped rolling and just got turned from William Byron, who had nothing to expect.
Yeah, the 20, you can see how far the gap is. That's already a car length before the start-finish line. Byron, remember, you can't pull out a line before the start-finish line. So as soon as that 24 got to the start-finish line, he pulled out, but the 20 on his right front and just hooked that 20 into the 43. Unfortunate for all 3 good running machines in this race.
Yeah, it absolutely just looked like the 20 maybe not missed a shift, but was maybe late on a shift, stacked the whole field up. Looks like someone got into the back of Byron, who got hard into the 20 cars. We go to the choose cone once again.
Kyle Busch goes outside with William Byron. 2 Chevys lined up there again. Austin Cindric gaining spots on the inside, but Denny Hamlin saw him pick the inside line last time. It did not really work. He's going to try it again.
As the drivers all lined up, getting ready for just a handful of laps to go at the tricky triangle.
We're going to be in overtime. Denny Hamlin leads them to the line. We're back to green. A big shove from William Byron to the front of Kyle Busch. They're going to take the lead entering turn 1.
Only 2 laps to go here as the 8 car stretches his lead into turn 1. William Byron's going to try the high line. Chase Elliott tries to go under him, but to no avail. And the 21 is in the wall.
A land rush of cars off turn 1. Kyle Busch takes the lead. Here comes Elliott for second on William Byron into turn 2.
There's no caution for that 21 car, as now William Byron looks to make a run out of turn number 2. He's the 24 into the wall. Chase Elliott gave him no space.
The 9 ran him up high, the 24 into the wall. Kyle Busch into turn 3. If we make it back, the next flag will end the race. Kyle Busch rounds turn 3, comes onto the front straightaway. White flag is out. Does he have enough fuel to make it back around? White flag is out. Hamlin goes to second. Kyle Busch, is he out of gas? Kyle Busch is out of gas on the front straightaway.
And a huge mistake for the 8 car, short on fuel by a full lap, as now Elliott sends it hard into 1. Hamlin tries the outside, and he's going to clear the 9 machine. No, he
Big
isn't.
battle down the back straightaway. Here comes Denny Hamlin. William Byron closing in behind him, 3 wide. Behind William Byron, now they're going to go side by side into the tunnel.
Are the 2 car side drafting going to let everyone else get up?
Oh!
Elliott hits the 11. The 11's off the 24. The caution is thrown. The race is over. Chase Elliott wrecks Denny Hamlin for the win at Pocono.
For the second year in a row, this race ends under caution. This time, Chase Elliott ends up in victory lane in Pocono. What a finish to this race. Denny Hamlin, a hard hit into the outside wall. William Byron ran good. He got caught up in it as well. Hit the inside wall. You see all the damage to the 11 car.
Wow, what an unfortunate accident here. I need to see the replay to see who's exactly